Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Jobu, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Jobu Sports Report. Without you guys, man, you know this thing does not work. Let's get open for business here. Guys, we are 59 days, 23 hours, 40 minutes, and 25 seconds away from the kickoff against the Carolina Panthers. I am getting excited. You can see the momentum. You can see I'm gone past those dark, depressing days of the NFL winter to now getting excitement of the season that is just upon us. Before we know it, we will be in the knee-deep grind of games week after week. I can't wait. Oh, God, I can't wait. Now, this is going to be one of those videos that I know a lot of you guys are like, dude, enough already of Earl Thomas. I'm sick and tired of Earl Thomas. Earl Thomas, it's not coming here. It would be a waste of a pick. He's too old. He's too injury prone. Don't need him. We got great young talent on the team. Well, here's the thing. I, in fact, love football to death. Every single day of my life, because you guys know, because I'm here doing videos. I mean, the fact that I can put out 3, 4, 5 videos a day in the off season, you know I am living and dying with football. I am a student of the game. And as much as we like to think that football is different from what it used to be in the past, I'm telling you, there are no new ideas. It evolves. It's little changes here and there. But in the end, football breaks down to one thing and one thing only. Can I beat the man in front of me? That's all it is in a nutshell. But what I like to do, one, I like to argue. I like to do some research and look back at things that are going on right now. Because things that happened in the past continue to repeat. If you look at the Dez Bryant situation, that wasn't new. It was T.O. all over again. Different players, same game. You look at our teams from the 70s to the 90s. You think about the offense, but really it was a great defense that got us those championships. The Doomsday defense, one of the best defenses ever in the NFL. Now, even though they get overshadowed a lot, that defense during the 90s was part of the reason why we got those Super Bowls as well. And as much as everybody likes to think about Tony Romo, the great quarterback and stuff, what worked in the past for our Dallas Cowboys was running the football. Yes, Roger Staubach was incredible. But without Tony Dorsett, not sure about that. Without Emmitt Smith, not sure Troy Aikman has 3 rings. And those are the things, the ingredients that we have as our formula, as our identity as Dallas Cowboy fans. In essence, Tony Romo should have had the ring if we completely followed the formula we had in the past. And that was great running game, a really good quarterback, and a lights-out defense. And you can look at our teams, 13-3, 14-2. It was not the dominating defense that we had. Yeah, we got plenty on offense to control the clock. When you score 24, 30 points a game, you should be winning those games. But yet, we had back-to-back games against the Rams and Green Bay that we scored 30 or more points and lost at home. You got to have that defense. And here's the thing. I'm trying to break down the arguments because people will tell you that, well, you know, the Cowboys can't afford him because they're going to have to pay Dak Prescott and they're going to have to pay Zeke Elliott and they're going to have to pay DeMarcus Lawrence. Well, we got $24 million that we're paying right now, today, this season, on players that aren't even here anymore. All that goes wiped away, you know. From Tony Romo, yes, we're still paying Tony Romo. Nolan Carroll, boom, that was a couple $1 million that we wasted right there. Who else we got on the Dez Bryant money, boom, and a couple other guys. So first off, let's start off with that. You're going to save that money. And they could do a long-term deal, and they only have a couple of days left to do it, with DeMarcus Lawrence. That would make it more cap-friendly than $17 million that it is right now. Prorated. First year is kind of low. Carry that money over to next year along with that $24 million you're going to save. So, and let's add to that the cap has been going up about $10 million a year, so it probably isn't going to go down any lower. And if the results of just this off-season numbers are correct for all the YouTubers out there, it doesn't look like football's going anywhere anytime soon. So money isn't really an issue because you can make a nice deal that will be incentive-laden, team-friendly, and so on, and keep him happy. So you can make it work from that standpoint. So then there's people who talk about his numbers are declining. He's going downhill. He's getting old. Well, here's the thing that's interesting because some positions in football are different than others. You don't want to pay a running back who's 34 or 35 years old or even 30 years old because running backs have a very short shelf life. That's why for a while running backs were getting picked up in the 4th, 5th, 6th round. It's only lately that running backs have come back in style. Wide receivers, that's another one that 28 is the magic number where they start going downhill. You know, very rarely do they become a Jerry Rice and continue to get better as they get older. They just get older. Quarterbacks, well, that's different. You see quarterbacks that are playing into the 40s, just like Tom Brady right now. They don't get the wear and tear that other positions do. Offensive linemen. Offensive linemen are usually pretty good into their mid-30s and sometimes even beyond. So not all positions are equal. And so when you say Earl Thomas had, major injury a year before, removed, came back with 88 tackles and 2 interceptions, not bad. Actually better than anything we had on the field ourselves last year. But I can point back, guys, to somebody's career was pretty similar to this point. And we're talking about a catastrophic knee injury where Barry Sanders literally shook him out of his knee. Let's watch this clip. Boom. Barry Sanders out there. Boom. Shake and bake and shook Rod Woodson, knee right in two. You'll see a little different clip of it where you'll see it actually go. But when you start thinking about back in that day, where knee injuries were a lot more severe and the medical advances aren't quite there like there are now. Rod Woodson had a catastrophic knee injury where he tore his ACL. Okay, let's see the clip here. Boy, it's a really, really old clip. Am I that old? Okay, so this is Rod Woodson. Boom. Oh, there goes the knee. So when we talk about Rod Woodson, to that point with the Pittsburgh Steelers, ended up having 644 tackles, 38 interceptions. Incredible. It's an incredible career. And he stayed with Pittsburgh. He came back and rehabbed the knee, played then one more year for Pittsburgh when they figured that, he's 31 years old, a year removed from a major knee injury. Yeah, it's time to put him out to pasture. But even in that last season after coming back from the knee injury, he still had 6 interceptions and 57 tackles. That ain't bad for a 31-year-old guy. So then he left and he went to San Francisco, and he looked like a 32-year-old player. He ended up with 3 interceptions and 43 tackles. He looked like a shell of himself, 32. You start thinking the guy's kind of old. But lo and behold, he wasn't done just yet. Because he went to Baltimore and became part of one of the best defenses in history. He played for Baltimore, got a ring there, for an additional 4 years. In those 4 years, let me see, what was his numbers? 20 interceptions, 252 tackles, from 33 to 36 years of age. That's averaging 4 interceptions and 63 tackles a year. It's pretty amazing. Let me say that again. In 4 years, from 33 to 36 years of age, he had 20 interceptions and 252 tackles. After that, he went to Oakland and for 2 years, and he had 110 tackles and still 10 more interceptions. Clearly, he was a playmaker. Now, I'm not saying that Earl Thomas will end up being a leader of one of the best defenses in football, like in Baltimore. But you know, that was part of the turning point for that defense from being really, really good to being insane. That defense was so good that Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl ring. Let me say that again. Trent Dilfer won a Super Bowl ring. Now, of course, you had Ray, and you had some good defensive linemen, but all of a sudden, let's start putting these pieces together here. You got a great linebacker in Sean Lee. The only problem is he gets injured from time to time. You may have another linebacker who's going to be pretty good in Jalen Smith if that foot is all that's advertised. You got a young stud in Vander Esch. You got pieces there. You got a pass rush that's proved last year, even with the NFL not calling holding penalties. You got some young studs at cornerback that just need a little bit of seasoning in there, you know? I'll take Lewis against anybody. Owuzie, what he showed me in the second half of that season, was pretty good. And Byron Jones, the leaper that he is, I believe was out of position at safety and will be a good cornerback. You put a future Hall of Famer on that defense, I'm telling you that defense could be elite. So if your argument is, well, he had an injury. Well, he came back the next year after that injury with 88 tackles and 2 interceptions. If your thing is age, well, safety is one of those positions that guys play later in their career. Hence, a lot of cornerbacks, as they start slowing down and can't cover as well, become safeties to prolong their careers. That's not an issue. You can sign him for a team-friendly contract, give him what he wants, and still be able to sign Dak Prescott. Hell, the dead money alone is almost enough to pay Dak Prescott. So the only other thing we're talking about here is compensation. A second or third round pick? If he is all that's advertised, it could be worth that. I'm just saying. Another one of my points of light here, argument for Earl Thomas. And I know a lot of people will tell me I'm an idiot. But if you say that a guy can't play later in his career, you're wrong. If you say that having a great safety is not important, I can point back and tell you we haven't had a great safety since our Super Bowl days. And it's time to change that. You say you can't afford it, you can afford it. There is no reason not to make this move. I look forward to all of you guys' comments on this because you're going to tell me I'm an idiot, get off the bandwagon or whatever. But until he's in a training camp working out and there's a possibility that the Dallas Cowboys go for it, I'm going to keep trying to push the envelope. I'm Mark Holmes. Thank you guys for watching the Joe Boo Sports Report. I'll see you soon.